This is problem number 3 from Chapter 4, Quiz 1, Quadratic Functions in Different Forms and Factoring. So I was given this, this function right here, and I'm told that, well, you can see it is in intercept form. Well, kind of in intercept form, almost in intercept form. Intercept form is y equals a times x minus p x minus q. And in this case here, I have coefficients of x. So it's not exactly an intercept form. I'm going to put it in intercept form to make it easy to solve this problem. Now, some people did that, answered these questions by FOILing this out and then finding where y is equal to 0, which would be my x-intercepts. And that's an okay way to do it. But I would really encourage you to get used to intercept form. It can be very handy, and as you progress in your math, you're going to want to have many tools, and getting used to intercept form as well as vertex form and standard form is a good idea. Just knowing only standard form, that's going to slow you down a lot and make it much more difficult, particularly when you get to pre-calculus and calculus. Well, I want to find the x-intercepts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my equation so that I have it in this format where I have no coefficients of my x's. So I'm going to kind of expand that out. I'm going to go, this is 3 times.
Good afternoon, NBA. It is now the end of the day. So will the
So as I was saying before the school ended, right, is I just had to factor that out a little bit. So I had 3, my original 3, and I'm going to factor out of this first binomial. I'm going to factor out a negative 2. So if I factor out a negative 2, that's going to give me x plus 3. And the reason I factored out a negative 2 is if I just pulled out a 2, I would have had left negative x minus 3. But that is still a coefficient. That's the coefficient of negative 1, and I can't have a coefficient of x if I want the intercept form to work. So it's negative 2 times x plus 3, and out of this one here, I'm going to pull out a 3. So it's a 3 times x minus 2. Now I can rearrange this a little bit. I can go 3 times negative 2 times 3. I'm just bringing all these over into my non-binomials into my monomials into one little section of this equation. And then x plus 3, x minus 2. And this gives me negative 18 times x plus 3, x minus 2. And that is in intercept form. Since that's in intercept form, I know that my intercepts are negative 3 and 2. Or some people wrote, and this was totally good in terms of as ordered pairs, they wrote negative 3, 0, comma, 2, 0. Those are my x-intercepts. Part B of this problem says, what is the axis of symmetry? Well, if I know my intercepts are negative 3 and 2, I can go negative 3 plus 2 divided by 2, because my axis of symmetry is going to be right smack dab in the middle of my 2 intercepts. So that is equal to negative 1 over 2. What do you know? My axis of symmetry is negative 1/2. Let's be good and box our answers here. So our axis of symmetry is negative 1/2. Part C of our problem says, what is the vertex? Well, here, let's magically appear our equation again. Here's our equation. I'm going to erase the 3 that showed it was problem number 3. And I want to find the vertex. So if I want to find the vertex, I know my axis of symmetry is negative 1/2. So I'll just plug in my axis of symmetry right into our equation. So I have 3 times negative 2 times negative 1/2. Sorry about that, there's another brief interruption. So I'm plugging my axis of symmetry into my equation so I can find the y value of my vertex. So I have 3 times negative 2 times negative 1/2 minus 6 times 3 times negative 1/2 minus 6. What's that going to give me? Let's see here. 3 times, well, this part of it is going to be equal to 1 minus 6. And this is going to be negative 3/2 minus 6. So this is going to be 3 times negative 5. This is going to be negative 3/2 minus 12/2. So this is going to be negative 15 times negative 15/2. So the square of 15 is 225. That's going to give me positive 225 halves, or 112.5 if you prefer a mixed number. So that is the y value of my vertex. So my vertex is negative 1/2, comma, 225 over 2. That's my vertex. In the last part of the problem, D said, will the graph of q of x open up or down? Well, what I did was I went back to right here, where I had kind of pulled all my factors out and put it into nice intercept form. So I could see that this is a times x minus 8, I'm sorry, not h, x minus p, x minus q. And since a in this case is negative, then I know that my graph is going to open down. So I would answer down.